What's a happening, nerds? This is John, Nerding Out with Cards, doing another video. So first I'm going to show you something because Jerry over at Rocking Out of Cards had made a comment, and it reminded me that I meant to show it before because in talking to Brent in the past, and now that I'm home, I can show it. So I'm going to go ahead and first do that, and then I'll be back to get to what I want to show in this video. Alrighty, so what Jerry had, I guess, kind of observed in my video was when I do these videos at home, yes, I am sitting in a stadium seat from Busch Stadium 2. And you notice the number there on the seat is 18 for the Moon Man, Mike Shannon, World Series champion with the Cardinals and longtime announcer with the Cardinals. One of the things is now that I'm home, I can, start to put together my card room, and this is going to be kind of the center of it. But yeah, in my videos here at home, I am sitting in a seat from Busch Stadium 2. And one of the things I have with it is I had this framed up, and what you see there is a seating chart that was from one of the old Cardinals game day magazines before they moved into the new ballpark. And surrounding it is just a bunch of tickets from games that I went to back at the old Busch. The way I picked them was, I had at least one team represented for all the teams that I got to watch play against the Cardinals there at Busch Stadium. So anyway, now that I showed this, I'm going to get back into what I want to show for the rest of the video. Alrighty, nerds. So now I'm going to get into what I really want to show, which is actually, there's going to be no baseball cards this time. In addition to the my Ozzie Smith collection and things like that, I don't collect memorabilia or anything that has his name or face on it. But in addition to the cards, some of the things I collect of Ozzie are his stadium giveaways. They're at Stadium. Ozzie Smith has had a ton of giveaways, or been the center of the giveaway anyway, right? And so anyway, I wanted to just kind of show them off because there's a couple that I still need to get from this past year that I don't have. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just get into it, right? And I think these are just awesome. 2002, the year that he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Cardinals stadium giveaway was this figurine, and it celebrated Ozzie, yeah, but his 1985 NLCS Game 5 home run against the Dodgers. And for some of these, I'll show the boxes, but this is the box that it came in, the whole Go Crazy folks, and, just has a lot of stuff about Ozzie. I remember that year at local McDonald's, they had another figurine that they were selling. I have one of those, but it's not a stadium giveaway, so I'm not showing that here. But this was the first Ozzie stadium giveaway. And like I said, these are going to be items. I'm not showing 8x10 prints and whatnot that they've also done. But anyway, the whole bobblehead craze, and bobbleheads are going to dominate this video, and I just think these are awesome. So this is, and I don't remember all the years of these things. A friend of mine gave me this, but this is the first Ozzie Smith stadium giveaway bobblehead. And you see they got Coca-Cola, Schnucks as the sponsors of it. It's depicting Ozzie doing a diving play. He's wearing that powder blue uniform. Really cool stuff. So this is the first Ozzie Smith bobblehead. And then Ozzie's been, the subject of bobbleheads for independent leagues, Cal Poly, things like that. The Foco bobbleheads, I don't collect those for Ozzie, just because that gets really crazy. But I only collect the St. Louis card, the ones they've given out at Busch. This is my personal favorite Ozzie Smith bobblehead, and this one is celebrating his 13 Gold Glove Awards. Sponsored by Ameren, local power company. Again, wearing that powder blue, 82. And it's really cool because it's got all the years for all the 13 gold gloves. He's wearing a gold glove. But that's the next Ozzie Smith bobblehead. Like I said, my favorite one, just because it celebrates the Gold Glove Awards. The next one I'm going to show, I had shown the Willie McGee of this in a previous video, but yeah, like I said, on opening days and whatnot, the Cardinals parade around the Hall of Famers, and now to include Team Hall of Famers around the field, and they've done bobbleheads for many of them, to include Ozzie Smith. He's depicted here riding around in a Ford Mustang, wearing his red jacket. Looks like he's waving to the crowd. Really cool bobblehead. And then, as much as I love the Cardinals Hall of Fame, I only have Ozzie and Willie of this. So, really cool stuff. Like I said, he's wearing his red jacket. Awesome. And then one year they were doing a theme night. My sister and brother-in-law got me this bobblehead, but the theme night was for the Game of Thrones. I've never watched the show, which is kind of whatever, but Ozzie's sitting in this iconic seat, and I've seen this depicted for many players. I'm sure it was all across Major League Baseball. But for the Cardinals, it was Ozzie Smith. Luckily for me, because it's another bobblehead to collect. This one doesn't really bobble that much, but whatever. The next bobblehead, and this is a newer addition to the collection. And this is a bobblehead celebrating that same home run depicted in this figurine. So the iconic Game 5, 85 NLCS home run. Right here on the back, "Go Crazy, Folks," the famous call by Jack Buck. Ozzie pumping his fist as he's rounding the bases. Awesome bobblehead. And then this is maybe a couple years ago or something. And I remember seeing images that Ozzie Smith was on a poster. He's been on several posters. I don't have any of them, but because what's his nickname? The Wizard of Oz, and so it was kind of like this wizardy pose from like I said, this is a poster back in like the 80s, early 90s or something, and they turned it into a bobblehead. Then that's where the cloak and all that stuff, the glove is suspended, and it's a gold glove. But another sweet Ozzie Smith bobblehead. Here at the bottom it says "The Wizard." This is like just a really fun bobblehead, I think. Next bobblehead I'm going to show, I've showed it before, and this is not a stadium giveaway, but I just love the Cardinals Hall of Fame so much that I'm going to include it in this video because I can. And that's his Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum bobblehead, and they have so many of these. Again, the only ones I have are Ozzie and Ken Boyer. If they ever do a Yachty one, I'll get it, but I'm not going to collect all of them because that would be just so much. But inaugural inductee from 2014. I said his red jacket, holding his plaque, but really cool bobblehead. The next stadium giveaway I'm going to show is, so outside of Busch Stadium, so you have the Musial statue, and that's been around forever. But then they also have what's called Legends Plaza, and it's at like a corner of the ballpark, like where the team store is and everything. But they have several statues. They have Cool Papa Bell, which I showed in a video once before. They have Musial, they have Gibson, they have Brock, they have Simba, and then of course they also have Ozzie Smith. And so they haven't done stadium giveaways of all of them. It seems like they stopped because I know there's Gibson, Brock, Musial, and Ozzie, but then they don't have all of them, which is kind of disappointing because like had they continued on, it would be something that I would get all of, but they didn't. So anyway, they did a stadium giveaway replica of the statue that resides outside of Busch Stadium. You know, it's Ozzie making a phenomenal play. And then you see these placards. That's what's actually on the statue outside of Busch. Really, really cool. And I got lucky that mine isn't broke. You see these a lot on the eBay there. They break right here. But really cool giveaway. Ozzie and his statue that's there in Legends Plaza. And then I got a couple more, and this is more like new age stuff. But you know, the Funko Pops. And Yachty's got some too, but I don't have those. And like, of course, these I'm just gonna kind of leave in the box. But you know, you got Ozzie Smith, Busch Stadium exclusive. I think all teams have done these. But, you know, really kind of cool, fun. This one's super easy to and cheap to find. And then with Ozzie, there was actually like a Chase random variant. And it was a gold one, which I have right here. Why gold? Because it was gold glove defense. Box is essentially the same, except for, you know, it's depicted in gold. Really fun. The Yachty stadium giveaway ones, they come in the normal, you know, kind of like that other one, gold, and then platinum. Like I said, I don't plan on collecting those, but the Ozzie ones, it was like, yeah, cool. And I actually got this for a steal. See them go a lot of times for like $150 on eBay, and I got this for 40. So that's why I pulled the trigger on it. I would not spend $150 on this. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to, you know, show off these things. It's funny when Jerry made that comment. It's like, yeah, actually, I do sit in a seat from Busch Stadium, and then it kind of got me thinking that it's like, oh, I can show off stadium giveaways from Busch, you know, 2 and now 3. One of the things is, now that I'm here, like this is gonna turn into like my card room. So that'll be evolving as I buy furniture and, you know, get things on the wall to include that right there. But I was like, yeah, I'll take a break from the cards, show off all these Ozzie Smith bobbleheads, because they're definitely going to be out on a shelf for displaying. And it's just something a little bit different. So anyway, I hope you like it. Ozzie, did you like it? Yeah. Hell yeah, because they're awesome. You know, and these teams, they do giveaways and stuff all over the damn place. And, you know, they got current players, former players. I just think they're fun to collect. Any fan of any team, I'm sure, can collect these. And, you know, any players that you want to collect, there's got to be bobbleheads out there for them. And they're not too expensive. It's usually shipping. But anyway, I hope you all like these Ozzie Smith bobbleheads, because I do. And y'all nerd your own way, even if it's not cards.